You'll have to read it to me when you get done because I can't see it.
Oh, and I said, so Paul kept calling me sweetie. And I don't know if any of y'all listen to rap, but there's like a sweetie that I can't stand her. So I was kind of triggered by that word. And so I called him cracker. And then they ran with I'm a racist. I mean, it was just so pathetic what Paul was reaching for.
So lame. That's that shit, man. That's how he fabricates content because he's a lame ass. What? Sure. Who's bringing whose friend?
Where? What are they talking about? What's he like? Who knows? Yeah, who knows? He's ha. Let me see. As soon as we get going. Well, no, let me see. Am I not still restreamed?
And why are we talking about diapers?
You were restreaming Jack earlier.
Yeah, I'm about to hit you. Yeah, let me hit you.
Oh, you're streaming me to Twitter. Oh, Sasquatch. I made a Rumble account.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
have not done anything with it at all. But it is in existence. I completed my assignment.
You are going to have to find at least 5 people willing to poke you. I'll poke you.
All right.
Oh, I'll poke him.
What up, first, last?
On Rumble, not in person. On Rumble.
Hold on.
In person, well, you're real hard to quit.
All right, I got it. What up, Cracker?
They call that a plussy over there.
A what?
Hit the plussy on Rumble.
Oh.
It's a plussy, a plus button.
So on Rumble, can you play music? Are they copyright strict like StreamYard? I mean, like YouTube?
Different levels of Rumble interaction. You can do an exclusively Rumble thing, and that has some copyright issues. You can do a share Rumble thing where it's Rumble and other platforms, and you deal with whatever copyright you step on. I've never seen anyone get taken down for doing a particular video. Or listening to a particular song, but it's possible.
Have you ever used Twitch?
No. I downloaded it once to watch something, but I didn't. I deleted it then.
I have a Twitch. I was going to use Twitch, but then they undid my name because of my name, and I was like, I was approved. I had a channel and everything. It was working, and then it went away.
Another platform people are using is called Locals.
Yeah. That's an old one.
You can play anything on there.
Because like on Twitch, like people would get on there and like teach you how to like string a book or something. Like they teach you things. Is that the same type of thing on Rumble? Like artists would show you them painting.
All right. Let me back up. Let's back up. All right. Rumble is essentially what YouTube was in 2007.
Okay.
It does nothing for you. You have to curate all of your own feeds, all your own interests. You got to go in and poke them and say, hey, I like that guy. I like this guy. I like that stuff. I like this stuff.
Okay.
I see Parrot here.
These are the missions of the Starship Enterprise.
I thought it was a guitar at first. I was like, what's happening?
No, it's totally copyrightable. Anyway, on Rumble, most of that stuff is a lot looser, but it's also much easier to be poached from you. You don't really have a lot of recourse for protecting your content, which is fine for me because I'm pretty much giving this trash away anyway.
Okay. Interesting.
So it might not work for you, but it might be worth banging your head against. I've just now gotten mine up and active and functional.
Look at this shit. I'm in hell with. I gotta get. I'm burning between. See, no.
Well,
y'all should be on the bottom. That should be on the bottom. If you're gonna be.
And I'm pissing fire on this Barbie.
Oh no!
I just had to look at this.
Somehow, I don't think it's the first time.
You know what? Next, and it'll get cleared up if I ever go back to jail again. I guess.
Probably get peed on all the time.
You get peed on all the time?
I said I'd probably get peed on all the time by you and don't even know it.
Why does my boy dog always pee on my girl dog? What's like all boy dogs pee on girl dogs? Is that a
If Mrs. Flo is watching,
never
you can
had it
ask her
happen.
why nobody will take a shower with me ever.
That's weird. He just peed on her?
Territory.
well? Maybe
That's
was she
fucked
stung
up.
by a jellyfish, and you were helping her?
What?
Was she stung by a jellyfish, and you were helping her?
Yep.
I can't wait.
One of those Kansas City jellyfish.
I
Flo,
was giving you an out, bro.
you
She
just
was
remind
stung by a
me
jellyfish.
of my wife. I got real drunk riding around with my wife. back
Oh.
before we got
Thank you,
married.
Jake.
I stepped out of the car and peed on her license plate and didn't tell her about it. And we're in Georgia, so there's red clay, sand, and dust everywhere. And we rode down a dirt road, and the license plate got covered. And on her way home, she got pulled over by a cop because he couldn't read the license plate. Idiot.
What is that? Is Steve showing us something? This is just his background.
Just his background.
Background.
It's one of my screens. I'm just watching videos, listening.
Right on. All right. Should we keep watching for the gaslight situation?
Yeah. So I want y'all to hear from well-minded people who are level-headed. Like, am I wrong? Is the world not supposed to always get along? Or am I tripping for not liking somebody? Should I lie and pretend?
No, that's the world should not always get along. Jack does the similar thing that Lig does, but not as extreme as Lig does it, which is try to drown out any negativity or darkness. La 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 la. He's not integrated his shadow. You got to integrate that shit, man. Get in touch with your shitty side.
Can do a lot better in the future. And
Yeah, we're kind of all like little divine expressions scattered throughout time. You know what I mean?
And yet part of the same one expression that expresses all time is expressing us in the here and now. And
Exactly.
back to the idea of child abuse. And I'll bring it back to the earlier stream on Paul's platform, defending the devil. I think by God's order, by God's design, the darkness is allowed. That's what evil is. Evil is that which separates or creates the illusion, separation from the light. But the
Weird
darkness doesn't
synchronicity
last
there.
through the light. It's like an infinite game of life, cosmos that the creator is creating. All we know is what is real to us, each of us. We know our real experience, but we only know our part. And our part of the greater story. Man, the human history, the story of humans, dude, it's a crazy story. It's friggin' fabulous. There's so many.
Pineal Power, this is the second time in a row you've advertised your shitty fucking channel in my live stream while I'm live streaming. You're banned from the channel.
Oh, he was up to like 13 last night.
Amazing lives.
Well, all he does is restream other people, which is ironic that that's what I'm doing right now. But whatever.
It's whatever. We mean it.
I'm gonna roll with it anyways. He's still hidden on the channel. I'll probably unhide him fairly soon, like tomorrow or the next day, because that's what I end up doing with everybody who's not a bot.
I think they should have to show their face.
Pineal Power? He can email me and come up. I don't mind him. I like him actually as a person, but he's got this weird habit of coming to my live stream and advertising his live stream at the same time. It's like, bro, that's just such poor form. He even knows, and he knows it's poor form.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it's kind of weird.
That's a lack of YouTube etiquette.
There's so many.
It is. I'd say so. Well, and the last time he did it, he even called himself out for it while doing it.
So then there's no excuse this go around.
Yeah. I've been banned from channels just for asking about links. Didn't actually drop anything, just was asking if anybody around could drop links, and because there was no mods. I was like, you have no mods. Is there anybody that can drop links? And they were like, gone.
Yeah, wow. I'm not that sensitive about it. And like you tell me, don't judge me. Has an obnoxious habit of saying when Tommy's live. And I have never blocked her for anything. You know, people do things that kind of toe up to the line, but he knows. And to just be as on the nose as that is, it's, you know, whatever. At least I try to say I'm going live later. I never just have a live stream going on and then go to somebody else and try to like fish out current viewers for my current dead ass live stream.
Examples for us to learn from in good ways and bad. And we have the free will within us. So God allows temptation. God allows the darkness to be our ignorance, right? And even allows us to have within us a spirit that wants to be selfish, wants to be greedy, wants to be lustful. It's part of the game, man. We're supposed to overcome the beast, not let the beast control.
I think a hard thing too, though, is when we grow up with abusive parents, we can start to believe the things that they tell us we are and that they speak over us, and then we can be like, oh well, I must be this thing, and then start to be that thing, the reflection of that thing. And you know, a lot of us need a lot of love to kind of find out who we really are and just how much we really are loved too, you know, without.
Thank you for the super chat, Hank. How integrated is Hank's shadow? Let me think about this. Does anybody have any thoughts on this right off the hip? I want to come back to this because I want to think about it a little bit.
What, Hank's shadow?
Do you know what integrating the shadow means? It's a Jungian concept. In Jungian psychology, your shadow is basically the parts of you that you don't like, right? And people reject their shadow self. Somebody who's integrated the shadow is, well, it's hard.
Oh yeah, I would say that Hank is totally integrated.
So, for instance, Jack's shadow self is his own selfishness, and so he denies that, and he overcompensates by attacking capitalism, for instance, as selfish.
Yeah, he was spicy today, though.
Right. Paul's full of shadow issues, like his success, his results, standing for rights, principles, freedoms, all those things. They're all things that he doesn't do, and he overcompensates in attacking people who don't do them, even though he's not doing it. He doesn't really see his own hypocrisy and lack of action in those areas, but on the subconscious level, he's aware of them. That's why he's attacking them. So that's the rejected shadow self that's not been integrated. Hank, I think, has, as far as I can tell, he is pretty well integrated. He might. There are some things about Hank that I'm not sure. There's some areas where I could say that I suspect that what he's doing is displaying a non-integration, but I don't have enough to know that for sure. I can't say specifically. Hank, you seem fairly integrated. You might just be good at bullshitting. Sort of like how he came out and said that he's a narcissist. How he comes out and he's too honest, right? So he's honest about things, for deceptive purposes.
That's the trick. You be honest. Oh, first lesson in life. Learn to nothing. We'll talk later.
Is what? I want to know the first lesson.
No, we'll talk later. Never mind.
Okay.
Paul's watching it. He'll turn it into a thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. It's also not something I try to avoid because he'll turn anything into a thing. Or he'll turn nothing into a thing. He'll let Snafu turn nothing into a thing. We'll carry on.
I don't know. A lot of us go through our whole lives trying to figure out where we started off from, like trying to reconcile our past, right? And we just keep repeating things over and over again to try and get that. And because something in us knows something's not right. And usually that's something we believe about ourselves. So
yes.
And we kind of begin to open portals from our past, right? When we need to be opening portals of peace, yo.
Yes. All of that. What you said about becoming a reflection too, a reflection of that past. That's what I did. And these patterns in life, each of us, we're going through our own growth, our own patterns. And our individual patterns are a part of the greater collective.
I do not have
a part of everything that's around us, and yet we're not. So the patterns in my life, there was a lot of anger, and there was a lot of anger shown in the household that I was raised. And I never crossed the line into physical, but for me, I didn't deal with the patterns of anger with healthy ways. I numbed myself and I denied my feelings. I didn't actually understand and spent a lifetime trying to figure myself out. But the good news, I believe we are the generation, we being all of us gathered here especially. I think we are the generation that's here to break those cycles, break the pattern.
There is literally no reason for him to think that at all. Evidence would point the opposite way.
Nope.
It's just pure hubris.
We're going to start redefining ourselves, not from those angry words of the confused people of our past. We're going to let those angry words from the past go away. We're going to start replacing those words with new definitions, redefining who it is we present to the world today. And let the facts speak for themselves. We become. Go ahead.
You were talking about kids earlier too, and like nothing will teach us like kids, because especially your own kids, because they become a reflection of you. And if you start to see that wow, they're reflecting me and something in me that I wasn't even aware of before, but now I got to buckle down on. It's like, and they come here, that expansion, like they're often our teachers because they come in wired and ready for something we're not. And that's
they're like divine little teachers.
Totally. And then we all get that choice of expanding with what's coming or resisting as well, right? The falling away or the expanding.
We are. And those children, the children are. I think it's part of God's design, but the society we were born into is fucking confused. It takes those with a lifetime of wisdom and throws them in retirement homes and then hires the people they can pay the least to take care of them. And then our children are paid similar. You know, parents are so quick to put the children off into a daycare so they can go earn a slave wage. I'm guilty of these things. Well, I didn't put my mom away, but praise God.
that laugh.
Right on that.
I see the future where we do a better job. And parents, anyone who is a parent, especially you got those kids with you, learn from them. Humble yourself to what they are bringing, the reflection that they're showing you. That's you.
3.
Yeah. Yeah, they're literally little light bearers. You know, you learn so much from kids.
What's a light bearer?
Steps to that list. What?
We can hear you, Cynthia. Do you?
Light bearer.
Oh, bearer. Okay. I thought
What's that?
Did you get?
Y'all
I
know
thought he
how I
said
think
light
I'm-
bearer.
They're upset because I timed out.
Say that again.
Nothing.
Salute.
Hearing you counting and stuff, and I'm like, I wonder if she knows.
Yeah, no, she's too busy. She's too busy causing chaos and controversy and chatting on the phone with other people, not paying attention to what Jack's saying and what we're speaking about.
What the
It's
fuck?
kind of disappointing. You can do better, right? You could do better.
She was talking to me.
Yeah, you could do better.
She was.
I want to believe you could do better.
Paul, it's kind of sad how pathetic you are.
I'm just trying to bring Jack's attention to the 10 people down there who said, "Why is Cynthia fighting us, yelling at us?"
Welcome, Super Cop with the alias.
Hey, I hate to tell you guys, but I was doing pronouns before pronouns were a thing.
I don't know what that means.
Check out my middle name.
I don't believe that's your middle name.
Every male in my family has that middle name.
What is happening right now?
I mean, do you want me to say it out loud? I don't want to dox you.
No, you can tell everybody. I don't give a shit. Guy. My middle
Guy.
name
His
is
middle name is Guy. So we've got a cop here who never comes on camera, doesn't have a profile picture. His name is Joshua Jones. His middle name is Guy. Like, I can't prove that you're not a real person, but there's a lot of things here that make you look like not a real person.
You hold on one second. Let me see if I can find my ID card.
Hold up 1 second.
Well,
give me a second. I'm gonna ask some questions too, Joshua.
Okay.
What's up, Cynthia?
Hang on. Give me a second. Is it GUY Jones?
Yeah, you're not gonna find anything on it. You might find something from a real estate company. That's about it.
Black Ops.
I don't have social media accounts. Like I don't have Facebook.
Where are you from?
Where was I? I was born on Homestead. I was born on Homestead Air Force Base.
Mm-hmm.
In a deep underground base?
No, it's Florida. Like you dig down 3 feet and you hit the water table, right? Like there's nothing underground in Florida.
So, which deep underground base were you born at?
Homestead Air Force Base. That was, again, before Hurricane Andrew blew it off the face of the map. I think it's back as a National Air Guard now, I think, or I heard.
Polk. Are you in Polk County?
No.
He lives in Vietnam.
Oh.
Yeah, he lives in Vietnam now. He works for the State Department.
Guys. Oh, isn't that where you can touch kids legally? Right?
Wow.
Technically, I think their age of consent is 16. However,
no, I think it's like 13.
The U.S. is 16 too.
Yeah, I think it's like 12 or 13. Oh, you're one of those. Yeah, you're not going to find anything on him.
Yeah, no, Japan. I think Japan is the lowest age. You just got to keep in mind, if you're a U.S. citizen, it doesn't matter. It's they'll come after you no matter where you are, what country.
No, not in like the Korea, the Vietnam.
Yes.
Who was that director? Who was that director that's taken off there? Come on, he was married to.
Oh, you're talking about what's his name? Roman Polanski.
Yes. Yes. Isn't that where he ran off to?
You hook up with an underage kid, it's legal for them. It's not legal for you because you're an American citizen. When you get home, you get a message from not only the DOJ, but also the
but he lives there.
And you get blackmailed by the kid. They send pictures back to you, and suddenly you're
they just had 2 arrests last week here in Vietnam. They nailed them. I believe I never saw the cases. I believe that's kind of what the girls were doing. Were basically trying to extort them.
Well, there's a simple solution to that.
Just don't go near them. Have to card everybody.
Just don't fuck kids.
Were those expats?
Be attracted to kids.
Strangely enough, here is kind of weird. You can't really they all kind of. This is gonna sound
because they're Asian. I got you.
Yeah, they all look the same, right?
Wow.
There's been a few times where I've seen somebody from a distance, and I've been like, I think that she's hot, but she might be young as fuck. I'm just not sure. Huh?
You glitched out on my end for a second.
Yeah, me too.
That might have been God saving me from the derogatory things I was saying.
Indeed.
All right.
We can hope.
Joshua, were those expats that got caught?
What's an expat?
I think they call them backpackers. Like they roll through for 2 or 3 months at a time. You got to understand, Vietnam, like they changed their visa regime. I think your max stay here is 30 days. Short of that, to get a TRC, you have to have a business here. You have to have marriage, something like that.
I think Thailand's starting to crack down too, aren't they, on their visas?
Yeah, Thailand had that whole red light district was a problem. It's kind of following suit with what the Philippines went through. So all of it's kind of weird. It's like the passport bros. The negative thing about passport bros is they're kind of screwing over the retirees.
Yeah.
What is a passport bro? That's a dude who goes to get chicks in other countries. Or are they going for minors, or are they looking for wives because they're
looking for legal but young wives, 18, 19-year-old girls who have absolutely nothing except for a grass hut, and they walk in and go, "Hey, how'd you like to be an American? Sign here. We're going away home."
So they're looking for that power differential,
and not necessarily a wife either. They're not necessarily looking for a wife.
Well, I know that there are a lot of I've heard on the internet a lot of guys talking about Western women or blah 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 blah, and then sort of romanticizing going abroad and getting. It sounds to me like they're losers who want the power differential.
Someone like Flow State is going to be power hungry and controlling and want to be egoic.
They're incels.
It probably wouldn't be so bad if they would stop getting on stream or stop advertising. One, they're advertising horrible information about cost of living. Two, they're actually just they're literally dogging all of the women back stateside, right? they're not addressing any of the problems that come with it. So like my wife has a medical degree. She can't take it to the US. It's useless for her. She'd have to actually redo all of the education system for her. So she'd have to go back to university just to get the same position here.
Oh yeah, that's fucked.
Is it though? Is it fucked?
I think that healthcare has been absolutely trashed by big pharma regulatory capture.
Different standards.
So you need major surgery. You thought you were sick and you went to the emergency room, and it turns out you need we're scheduling you for your surgery now. There's no one available, but hey, so and so from Vietnam literally landed 24 hours ago. Are you ready?
You think they don't know how? You think, first of all, is your wife a surgeon?
No.
Second of all, so that's the first. First of all, is that not everything is surgery, and I could figure out what prescription to give you with a Google search 9 times out of 10.
But you think that the training and everything would have been the same? Like they would have had the same.
I don't think that our healthcare system is good. It's bad.
I disagree.
You know that this isn't. I'm rolling off memory of old information. This is probably 7 or 8 years old, but at the time, the third leading cause of death in the U.S. was medical. I don't remember what they called it, but basically, people. It wasn't. They weren't abusing medication. This is people who followed the doctor's instructions and died because of it. Third leading cause of death in the U.S.
I don't know. I've never had that experience, but I've also researched everybody and interviewed anybody I went to.
Yeah, you do that. That's good. Most people don't do that. I can say that you're familiar with my life somewhat enough to know that when I say that I've had the worst physical addiction I've ever had was to shit I got legitimately through a doctor, and that means something. Look at antidepressants. They put the whole fucking country on shit that only works through addiction. It's just not euphoric, so they act like that's not an addiction. And it doesn't even work.
I just don't understand because everybody tried to push those pills on me, my son, for me to take that to my son, and I automatically recognized that it was bad. I gave it to him one time and I automatically saw the behavior change. And I said, never again. Even when I had my children, I didn't take any type of medication. I went, let's do it. I just don't understand. But at the same time, if an emergency came up, I wanted to be in a place of where I could be there, and get help. So,
well, why wouldn't you be?
Right,
because it's illegal for them to turn you away from the ER.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm saying sometimes people will choose not to get medical advice or anything.
But they don't
try to handle it themselves.
Flo, they don't have to fix you. They just have to stabilize you.
That's true.
And move you somewhere else.
I don't think that they can fix people. I think that, and I don't think they do fix people. Like I said, my experience with the doctors as an adult has been they've fucked things up more. Statistically, they fuck things up a lot more. Culturally, we can look around at the opiate epidemic. We can look at the fucking. I consider antidepressants an epidemic.
So are we talking about the same type of doctor? Because y'all keep talking about antidepressants and stuff. I'm talking about doctors who helped me through cancer and other things like that. Are we talking about the same type of doctors?
I'm talking about a general practitioner, just a general practitioner who decided that he wanted to put me on antidepressants, even though I was not depressed, and I literally told him that.
Nobody has ever suggested antidepressant. Not one doctor has ever even suggested I go on anything. I'm not understanding.
He was aware that I was getting divorced at the time. He's like, your life is stressful. It'll smooth you out.
What?
I don't think they can anymore. I don't think a GP can do that.
But there's two things. One, I think that American doctors are worse than they generally get treated, than they get credit for. Two, I think that doctors in other countries are probably better than we give them credit for. What do you think, Josh? You live in Vietnam.
You don't ask me. If I got into some kind of medical emergency, I'm flying to Thailand. I'm not doing nothing here.
What are y'all's burn units like down there, Josh? In third world
I don't
countries?
know. Hospitals here are a whole different thing. They're cattle factories. It's a bad like comparison. You really can't do it. It's just a whole different monster here. You'll have like 25 people in a room. It's just weird. Like it's just really weird. It's all compacted kind of thing. It's not designed for. It's just designed for dealing with a huge number of people at any given time. But then it's got the like same problem. Like you hear nightmare stories about like ERs being flooded stateside. Usually because people will like go to the ER for the common cold kind of thing. That is exactly the system here. That's the entire system here.
See, I worked in the emergency room at the county hospital here in Dallas. It's actually the third burn unit. I'm sorry, the second best burn unit in Texas. So I dealt in the emergency room and I saw horror things that came through that I would never trust other countries to deal with, because I think that for some it would be so far gone. Whereas
why
here,
do you think that?
Because we're here, we have the technology and the resources for the state of the art emergency.
How many other countries have you been to?
None. But I've also seen people that have like the children born with the rare birth defects or the special, things, and they have to fly to America to get these treatments. Like I don't see Americans flying their kids out to other countries to get these treatments.
Yeah, they are.
Which countries? Like, can you give me an example? I've never
Lots
heard
of Americans go to other countries because our medical system's so fucked and they won't do certain surgeries. So they'll go to other countries and get it done. I heard you say earlier, Cynthia, that you had cancer?
Yes.
And
I didn't know that.
Well, I'm just curious because if you had cancer, you have to know what a cancer doctor is, correct?
Correct.
What is it, a cancer doctor?
Yeah. I always get the girl doctor and the
it's an oncologist. I was just curious that if you had cancer, you probably would have instead of saying cancer doctor. But
I call him cancer. I've always called him cancer doctor.
We haven't talked about Paul in a few minutes. I think he's getting lonely in the chat.
I haven't been paying attention to it.
Yeah. If you would have saw last night on Jack's panel when Jesse got up there, Paul immediately called him out about Jesse saying that he wanted him to die from heroin or something along those lines, and Paul was all bent out of shape, and then
he was victiming.
Yeah. And then I bring up the fact, I'm like, well, what about this $1,400 you grifted for Tailstock? Where's Jack's $350? You got to bring up the past. I'm like, you just literally fucking did it to Jesse. And then I asked you the same fucking type of question and he can't answer it. And that's the fucking problem that he has. You know what I mean? It's fucking narcissism at the highest level.
I heard one time, and I never heard anything. You remember that he was selling the "You Are Slave" T-shirt, which apparently he wants to get his viewers beat the fuck up, wearing that thing around in public.
Yeah, right.
But I heard him say something one time about how if you haven't received your shirt yet, blah blah blah. I'm wondering if he like what, you just have to wonder. But
is it
it's so funny how the loop keeps going and going and going.
The Paul guy that you're talking about, the same Paul guy that's on I don't know, the bald-headed redneck looking dude.
Yeah.
The octagon.
I can't say too much about rednecks because I'm one, but I mean, it's just like that's the only description I can think of.
Some frat boy douche with an earring who wants all the time, energy, attention, and resources. He's the hit. He's got an earring. And he's got that frat boy douchey college vibe that you all love so much at the sports bars. He wears his hat backwards and makes little quips, so he's cool to hang out with.
Yeah, that guy. Okay. Thank you.
Nothing wrong with being a redneck.
I'm a redneck. I've never met the dude. The first time I'd ever seen him was from here, and it wasn't even him. It was one of these clips. Damn, now I can't even remember how I found you, Flo. Did I find you or did you find me?
I did. How would I find you?
I don't know. I roll around in a couple streams.
You don't have a channel.
Do what?
You don't have a channel. I don't know how I would find you.
Probably Grindr.
No, he.
Oh, Barney's.
Oh, Barnabas. Right. Yeah. Yep.
Took you a while to figure it out.
I don't call him that. I was thinking like, when somebody says Barney, you think of the purple dinosaur, and then you go to Barney Frank, and then it's like
that is exactly how I picture Barney. Literally him.
A purple dinosaur or a gay senator?
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna make gay senator. Yeah, no, purple dinosaur.
He might be gay. I would concede the point that he's gay.
Don't forget, you did the underwear model thing for it with him.
I know, but don't forget, I was told that there would be women involved in this thing until I sent that underwear pic, and then the very next stream, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's dudes only." Like, wait a fucking second here. Feel like I got sort of suckered into sending booty pics but it's okay. My ass broke the internet for a minute. I can't believe I don't have a picture of that loaded up here, actually.
Do you believe that, Sasquatch?
Okay, I do.
That he's innocent?
Did I say that? I didn't say that.
I don't know anyone who's innocent.
All right, so let me throw it back up. We will continue. But yeah, I have not been paying attention to Steve. I have not been paying attention to the chat. I'm sure that he's getting lonely and bored. My mods are welcome to handle things however they see fit. I only give wrenches to people I trust. And yeah, I've just got the starred tab open, so I would see it or not.
Well, I hadn't seen him talking in the chat, so I was like, oh, he must be mad that no one's talking about him. Figure bring him back up to the surface.
Can you?
Why is she on panel ignoring the?
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
Can you explain to me, Talcott? I'm told I've seen him on one panel. I was on panel with him for like 3 minutes. That was about it. I'm told that he's like the opposite spectrum of me. Like everybody gets together.
Kumbaya. He's a kumbaya, eat granola, and everybody should live in communist paradise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's the opposite spectrum of me. Okay, got it.
Yeah. But I mean,
a conversation to cause.
I personally believe that I don't think that that's him naturally. I think that that's him. He's manufactured this, and I think that I don't think that he's faking. I think that he is trying to force place himself into being like a good person. I'm doing air quotes because I think that his image of a good person is a cultural one, and it's not one that I think is accurate of what a good person is. But I think he's trying. How about that?
He looks like he actually looks like he's the age, the last generation out of the Woodstock era.
Chaos and controversy and chat and giggle like a little girl.
Paul, you are really jealous of me.
Actually,
there's nothing to be jealous of, sweetie.
Why are you always over here calling my name?
I'm pointing out your failings. I'm pointing out your mischief and failures, like the Tao says. Let the wise man chase you, show you where you have fallen, where you may yet to fall.
Look at you.
Your mischief is your undoing, Cynthia Queen.
Hold on,
Queen. You could do better.
Paul, please, out of respect, because in this case, Paul, thank you for speaking up for what the chat was saying. Cynthia, please. And I'm sure I probably get a text or a call from Snafu soon, whining and complaining about that. Please realize there are repercussions, okay? And maybe you don't.
Babies. If they're going to sit down there and insult me, I'm not going to allow it. If they're going to sit down there and insult you, I'm not going to allow it because it throws the vibe off of here.
Yes.
And if they don't know how to come here and not be insulting, then they
can you just practice some self-control?
Can you please allow me?
Can you practice some detachment and self?
I haven't even spoke.
I know. Please, sorry for the interruption. Please. Cynthia, I agree. When people are in the chat, and especially if they're being rude to you, I've seen how rude people are. So I don't fault you in the slightest. Okay, I don't. I'm not saying you've done anything wrong whatsoever because we haven't talked. We haven't talked about it. Okay, it's all happening now.
This has been the same pattern for a while, Jack. Let's just be clear about it.
Hey, well, there's reason.
And Jack, there's a bit of a double standard because
inappropriate. Sorry to speak over
Jack. Jack, let's call it as it is. She's down there using the shield of the wrench to not be timed out while she's insulting other people. And then when they bite back, we can't choose who we're going to talk over and not talk over. If we're going to have a standard, let's keep the same standard.
Bullshit.
Let's not have double, triple standards here in all ways, please. I was speaking. She doesn't like the truth. She doesn't like being called out. A lot of folks over here don't do well with accountability.
Okay, let's take a breath. We're all growing together. We do trigger each other sometimes.
Right. We got to do breath work sometimes, man.
I don't think we're growing
breath work
together.
Cynthia, stop eating. We're going to breathe for a little bit.
We can all be
Can you please point out the comment or the person I was being rude to?
Well, yeah, me. I don't even need to know who you did it to anyone else because you did it to me as soon as I came in here. Who are you kidding?
Paul got upset. Paul got upset because I threw up the throw up emoji. Like it's insane to me, the childness of his behavior.
Welcome, Sarah.
What's up?
Same shit, new day. Literally same shit.
No.
Loopity doopity.
What's up, Sarah? Hey, Sarah.
I like
What's
my
that?
cheesy jokes.
I did release a breathwork yesterday with a Godspark theme. If you want to get out of hell and have a little 4-minute meditation for the group.
Not right now. I don't.
Yeah.
Nice try. I do want the link though. Sorry, I'm eating peanut butter and jelly. And do you have a wrench? You're welcome to drop it in chat too if you got a wrench.
Sure you are.
I think so. I don't know. I never fucking use my wrenches.
But yeah, put it backstage.
Is it on Mindfucked?
Yeah, I think I do on Mindfucked. Actually, I
But
think I do.
Cynthia,
You want me to drop it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Cynthia,
Chuck. Yes.
you seen who Jack dropped out of that conversation, didn't you?
No, who?
You. He dropped you, and it brought you back.
Oh, okay.
Not Paul. You.
I mean, it's his chat.
Yeah.
What? Hang on. What video do you want me? Didn't I drop? Oh, thank you, Sarah. Okay. Yeah. I don't get upset when Jack does that because he's not doing that out of a malice place. He's just trying to get in control of it. And if at any times, if I'm making him feel out of control, then yes, absolutely, he should do that, even to whomever, whether it be me, Paul, whomever. But when people use that backstaging to silence you and censor you and paint a false narrative about you, that's when I have an issue with it. It's no big deal to be backstage. He didn't block me. He didn't cuss me out. He didn't attack me. He's just trying to get control. And I understand the difference.
Yeah. I agree in this instance. I don't think that he exercises good judgment with it, though, because I don't think his priority is on either accuracy or fairness. I think it's on, well, I don't know. He's got an agenda, and it involves Paul somehow, but
they have that dynamic.
They're gay. That's what you're saying?
I didn't say that, but
Let
yes,
it be
they have
known.
that dynamic.
Let it be known. Cynthia has said that Jack and Paul are gay, and I didn't disagree with her.
Hey, run with it.
So you want to be hip?
Damn it, Cynthia. Where's your clip?
I don't give a fuck. I can already tell you that now, but go ahead. But I don't give a fuck about shit tonight. Like, let that be known. But go ahead and say it.
That I'm so far past that on angry today. It was insane.
Oh, you're angry today?
Well, I was earlier on Jack's.
Nice try. You almost got yourself out of that with a lie.
No, come on.
Keep lying. Maybe you'll be able to really perfect it.
There are many people revealing kind of ugliness of their character.
She's revealed that months ago. No one apparently saw it.
Hey, we're all growing. You know what? Let's come back to the present.
You know what I'm going to do, Jack? Let me do something uncharacteristic of myself. I'm going to go ahead and praise Angeline. You know why? Because she continues to stay the course. She continues to focus on seemingly, I don't know her behind the scenes, but being a loving, caring person, speaking her truth. And she lets me do my gorilla act and talk my shit and pretend to be messy Hal. You know, boys will be boys. And she just continues to do what she does and doesn't get involved seemingly in any of the drama or the nonsense. So I'm going to go ahead and praise her since I'm always like being critical of other people acting out.
That's good, man.
Love bomb.
Great progression.
That was
and I'd be an asshole, right? When it comes to her and Jesse and others. So I mean, again, either
What'd you say?
That was absolutely what that was.
Yeah.
She's being disingenuous or she's showing strength in that sense, just not being reactive. Maybe it comes naturally to her.
She's a strong lady. That's what I've seen in Angeline.
So is Jack.
I think that's a strength. I agree. Angeline does a great job of not being involved, not appearances, right?
Well, because we never truly know, right? But over time, the truth always comes out. But I'm saying from what I've seen, there seems to be some consistency there. So even if it is just a practice, right, it's still 1-for-1 because you can fake it till you make it, right? If you practice living a certain way, at a certain point, it just becomes second nature. And part of that practice is not being reactive and not feeding into the supposed negativity or the darkness. We look at it.
How the fuck would he know that?
Understand it. We become better, or we leave it where it's at.
Because he's read books that say that.
He's reactive as shit.
Yeah, it's not from experience.
Mm-mm.
I think when you kind of grow up around enough chaos, you learn just to choose where you want to flow in and where you don't, and just let things be what they are, because you learn in life you can't really control that stuff, but you can choose where you're going to insert yourself and where you're going to look and where you're not, and where you're going to go a different way.
I accept that. It's all a choice at the end of the day.
That would be such good advice that Jack and Paul could use if they actually understood what she was saying instead of just sort of hearing it and like they should adopt it. They're both so stuck in trying to change people for the past that Paul's taking his daddy issues out on Jack. Jack's taking his son issues out on Paul. And they're stuck in this fucking loop because they're trying to change other people that aren't even there. They're not even addressing the right person. They can't accept that people are the way they are.
Okay.
That was my guess.
Control your energy, yo. Control your energy.
It takes the darkness sometimes. And I've heard enough of Angeline's stories. To know she came from some dark places. She saw some darkness. And that's the light we're seeing today, man. That is her strength that God has graced her with. And
don't be getting jealous, Jack.
Yeah, I thank you, Angeline, for shining the light of who you are the way that you do. You really are inspiring. And Cynthia is too, and Paul is too.
Thank you, Jack.
Well, don't ruin the sentiment by bringing the Gorgon creature into the statement. I mean, that's just disingenuous.
I know
was so rude.
She's not an inspiring person. She's repulsive.
Rise out of it. You can think that, but you don't know how to sit up here and be quiet.
She's a repulsive
That's funny. You said that's so rude.
creature. Look at her right now. I could say anything about Angela.
He's just trying to get a rise out of me. He's he's deliberately poking.
Oh, I thought you said that is so rude about how Jack included Paul in with the rest of y'all.
No, I was talking to Paul because he was like, you have to bring in the gargoyle creature. Like I wasn't even speaking to him. Like he's deliberately always picking attacks at me. And so when that's what he does. He says things to get a reaction out of you.
I just assumed he was referring to himself.
No, he was talking to me.
Oh. Well, then your response is less funny in that case.
She's never going to respond like that because she's a woman. You're a repulsive, obnoxious, masculine creature, and you have no divine femininity and grace within you, and you have no mercy. I've seen you with dozens of people, and then
yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear. Was somebody saying something, or am I just tripping?
You're tripping.
I said, man.
Yeah.
Your opinion.
You're a cretin.
I don't value you, and I don't value your opinion.
Well, you did value me until I didn't love you. Until I didn't love you the way that you needed to be loved.
What if she's reflecting you?
It doesn't work that way. The whole point of divine femininity is yielding to the moment and the truth and going above and beyond the worldly nonsense. So she doesn't have to reflect and mirror what all the other broken boys are doing on here. When she does that, she reveals her position and status.
I don't care what you think about me.
That's kind of like your opinion, man.
It's kind of like the facts. That's why she doesn't have a partner and isn't going to have a partner because no man is going to want to figure that.
Don't have a partner. You don't know.
You know, we're all of it, and we have to accept that. Every horrible thing, every wonderful thing, we're all of it, and we just choose what we're gonna like put out there or not put out there. But it doesn't matter. It's in this world we've got infinite choices, and we can be whoever we want, and you can judge whatever you want in those choices. But Doesn't really matter.
That
You
is
can either choose to accept what people, how they judge you and what they say about you, or you just let it roll off your back because you understand that it comes from something that's not important to you and it's coming from a malice place.
Where it comes from doesn't have to be important. The truth within is what's
Come
important.
from a malice place. You could never.
It
tell me
doesn't matter what the intention is. The truth can still be within the malintent.
You don't know my truth.
Please.
If someone calls me a fat fuck and it's true, it doesn't matter what the.
Paul, please. Okay, Cynthia. This kind of comes back to the earlier message I was offering. When we judge the messenger, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to just humble ourselves to the truth. And what Angeline
Oh my
said,
gosh.
everything can be true about us. And so if we just listen and just stay trusting in the moment, trusting in now. And you're right. If it's words we choose, don't apply, but don't judge the messenger. That's what I'm suggesting, please. Okay.
But we can certainly have boundaries and love ourselves and choose what we want to allow in to our world and what we don't, and what parts we want to feed in ourselves and not.
Correct.
And part
I totally
of that is
agree
learning
with
to
that.
stand up for ourselves.
I totally agree with that, but I don't think that we should try to censor or stave off the persecutors and the prosecutors. They may be some of our greatest teachers and testers.
Yes, but we got to be careful we don't become the prosecutors and the perpetrators, because it's really easy to become the things we hate.
Okay, I want to just object to that whole premise real quick that we don't need to pay attention to who.
Think that was my argument the whole entire time, Flo. I kept saying, if it comes from a malice place, I'm not paying attention to it. It has no value to me. I'm looking at where it's coming from. And everybody, but you still got to look at it and get past that. No, I'm first going to see where's it coming from.
Right.
And it's not coming from a place. No, it's not. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you put on shit. You could sprinkle it with sugar. You could spray paint it with glitter. It's still shit. And that's what he's saying to me.
If criticism is given out of malice, even if it is true, it is given to you in a harmful way. And there's no something that's like calling Paul fat out of malice. Objectively, you can tell whether that's true or not. But when someone's criticizing your character or behavior out of malice, forget it. You're better off not even trying to pick that apart. All you're going to do is fuck yourself up. Go ahead.
Explain it to me. What's this contention with judgment? We all do it. What the hell's the big deal about it? Well, why are we telling people not to judge? It's a self-defense mechanism.
Correct.
Kind of supposed to have it. So why are we telling people not to do it?
Why should we accept everything that people say to us? We should allow everyone to say something to us and take it. And like some of it is trash and you have to see that and throw it away. And the first thing I do is look at who is it coming from and where is it coming from? Not even necessarily who, where is this coming from? Is this coming from somebody who loves me? Or somebody who actually knows me? Or are they telling me this to help me? Or are they telling me this because they want to feel better about themselves?
I guess I'm not even really concerned with the why people are doing it. I'm more concerned with why are somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I've been on a couple of these panels and I'm confused most of the time. Why is everybody so concerned with like who's good and who's bad?
I mean, are you asking a philosophical or a specific question? Because you kind of
in the concept, it seems like everybody's like, well, this person's good.
With
this
personal
person's
interest, right? Everybody's interest comes from a place of personal interest, ultimately. But humans, in human opinion, humans are moral beings. Even though most of us in the modern world like to object to that and say there's no such thing as objective morality, if you look at any argument for a side, it's always ethically based on some level.
Yeah.
Evil is but your point of view.
Say that again.
Evil is just point of view.
Right. I agree. I don't think that there is necessarily objective evil. And I don't think that let me rephrase that. I think there are some things that we can say are evil. There's no way to not be evil, but on God's eye view, I don't believe in. I don't know. That's a tricky part now, actually, because there are some things that are so atrocious that it's like, how could that be anything but?
There is definitely evil.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen it.
But our personal preferences of what's good and evil is usually inaccurate.
Okay, so if like let's go back to Bible times, right? When there's a verse that gets thrown around by atheists and shit, or people who are not into it, as about going and killing all the women and children and livestock.
Oh, the Malachites. Yeah.
Sure. You look at the atheist coming forward with his tyranny.
Well, I'm an authoritarian. What'd you expect?
I know
right?
you are. I got a kick out of it. That is evil, unless you're the other tribe, right? Who these people are actually all a danger to you, and then it sort of stops being evil when you realize that, when you shift your paradigm around.
Correct.
So I think there's a lot more subjectivity in evil, in what's evil and what's not, than people give it credit for. I'm not even sure if I believe that pure evil actually exists.
But that was in a time of war. That wasn't just, hey guys.
Yeah, but it's an illustration.
Yeah, but we have to really put that in context. If you're in war, you're in war. There's no rules of war, and if you're going,
there are rules of war, actually.
If you're going to wipe out your enemies, of course you are going to take out the people that give birth. You're going to take out the children, and you're going to starve them.
In that Bible verse, well, that's actually a chapter. It was more or less the concept of the claim is these were evil people. They needed to be basically eradicated, and it was ordered supposedly by God that it was supposed to be so eradicated that they killed the women, children, and even the livestock and the crops. Like anything that had anything to do with them, just burn it with fire.
Right. But if you're the people who are about to get eradicated, guess what? 100% the other people coming to kill you are evil to you.
Right.
But if you have
war, you're in war. You're in war.
Doesn't matter. I mean, first, war's just formalized conflict. There's conflicts on all scales, and the dynamics don't change. And I don't necessarily disagree with it. Right? Like if somebody's look, I've got a ruthless bone in my body. I do. But my point is that I don't know that I think that there's objective evil. And I think that, and I'm not even a deist. I think that if I were a Christian, I would say there cannot be something that's evil because God created everything. But we've had this conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wrong. I'm right. Okay.
Well, I just think, they do. And it's just, you just wiping out their bloodline. And because if not, you leave the chance of people coming back and retaliating.
Well, throughout most of human history, whenever something like that happened, you would keep the women and children and just integrate them into your numbers. So if you're not doing that, which makes the most pragmatic sense, there's an extra level there. But Sarah, what do you think about evil?
Well, I would say that killing is not necessarily evil. In fact, God is not really opposed to killing.
No, he orders it frequently in the Bible.
He commands it a lot. I'm going to say another statement that might upset some people, but in reality, God doesn't really care about the human meat suit. He cares about your soul. So if he must, he'll destroy the body and reincarnate you into a new one. So the flesh is just flesh to him. He cares about your soul.
And what is that based? What are you basing that off of? Like your own experience, the Bible, like a whole conglomerate of sources?
All the above. Now, that doesn't mean go out and kill people for the fun of it. Like, that's still going to cause harm to your soul. But
it's fun.
Got a question.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to, like, while in the process of killing, am I allowed to enjoy what I do?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
Well, I think that. Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it depends on what you mean by enjoy. Because some people are truly like demonic and evil and are getting like high and kicks off of killing other people that don't really deserve to be killed, and that's more of like a
yeah. Explain that level of evil when you describe that thing as evil. Explain that part.